Eala saves day for home contingent with stellar PH Women's Open win. Manila, Philippines. On a day her two compatriots crashed out of contention, Eala carried the fight for the Philippines in her home event. Eala advanced to the round of 16 of the inaugural Philippine Women's Open after seeing off Alina Cheriva 6-1, 6-2 at the newly refurbished Rizal Memorial Tennis Center on Monday, January 26. The world number 49 Filipina breezed past Cheriva in the opening set, then overcame a Navy second set that saw her make use of a medical timeout as she got back on track following a first-round exit from the Australian Open. Energized by supportive Filipino fans who packed the 2,000-seater center court, Eala fought back from a 0-2 deficit in the second set by winning all of the next 6 games to give the world number 163 Russian the boot. Cheriva remained within striking distance in the second set, trailing 2-4, only to get broken in the 7th game, where Eala saved 3 break points, then pushed her lead to 5-2 with a forehand winner. Eala then blanked Cheriva in the ensuing game to arrange a date with the winner between Himeno Sakatsum and Nao Hibino, who both hail from Japan, on Wednesday, January 28. The win allowed Eala to get a redemption of sorts for fellow Filipinas Elizabeth Abaquez and Teniel Mides, who dropped their first-round matches earlier in the day. Abaquez absorbed a 6-0, 6-0 beating from Japan's Mai Hontama, while Mides fell to Thailand's Mananchaya Sawangkayu in a 6-4, 6-0 defeat. After her breakthrough main draw appearance in the Australian Open ended swiftly following a 3-set loss to American Alicia Parks, Eala is back home with hopes of ruling the Philippines' first-ever hosting of a WTA 125 event. Eala is no stranger to winning a WTA 125 title, having broken through in the Guadalajara Open in Mexico last September. Eala saves the day for the home contingent with a stellar PH Women's Open win. The sun hung low over the court, casting long shadows that stretched like unanswered questions across the baseline. The crowd, restless and hopeful, leaned forward as if sheer belief could tilt the match in favor of the homegrown hero. For Philippine tennis, it had been a long day, near misses, brave efforts, and quiet heartbreaks. Then came Eala. At just the right moment, when the weight of expectation felt heaviest, Eala stepped onto the court not merely as a player, but as a promise. And by the end of the night, she delivered, with a performance defined by poise, power, and an unshakable calm. Eala captured the PH Women's Open title, saving the day for the home contingent and reminding everyone why her name has become synonymous with the future of Philippine tennis. Carrying more than a racket. For Eala, this was never just another tournament. Playing on home soil carries a unique pressure, one that tightens the grip, shortens the breath, and magnifies every mistake. Every point echoes louder when the crowd knows your name, when children in the stands wear your jersey, and when an entire nation quietly hopes you will win. From the opening games of the final, it was clear Eala understood that burden. But instead of shrinking under it, she absorbed it, using the energy of the crowd as fuel. Her footwork was sharp, her ground strokes deep and deliberate. Each rally felt like a conversation between patience and aggression, and Eala spoke fluently in both. She didn't rush. She didn't force winners where none were needed. She built points brick by brick, drawing errors, waiting for openings, then striking with precision. This was not the tennis of a prodigy chasing highlights. This was the tennis of a player growing into leadership. The match that turned the tide. The final was far from easy. Her opponent tested her resolve with heavy topspin, angled shots, and relentless defense. Momentum swung back and forth, and there were moments when the match threatened to slip away. Breakpoints faced, long juice games fought under the unforgiving heat. Yet Eala's greatest weapon that day was not her forehand or her serve. It was her composure. When the pressure peaked, she slowed the game down. A deep breath before serving. A longer glance at the strings of her racket. A subtle nod, as if reminding herself she had been here before, on bigger stages, against tougher odds. And then, point by point, she took control. A clean backhand down the line ignited the crowd. A perfectly timed drop shot brought fans to their feet. With each game won, belief surged through the stands, transforming nervous hope into collective confidence. By the time Eala served for the match, the outcome felt inevitable, not because her opponent had faded, but because Eala had risen. A victory for more than one player. When the final point was won, the applause was immediate and thunderous. Eala raised her arms, not in triumph alone, but in gratitude. She had done what the home contingent needed most that day. She gave them something to celebrate. This victory meant more than a trophy. It was a statement. For Philippine tennis, Eala's PH Women's Open win reaffirmed that local athletes can thrive under international standards. It showed young players watching from the sidelines that success doesn't have to come from elsewhere. It can be built, earned, and celebrated at home. For the fans, it was a moment of connection. In every long rally, they saw discipline. In every comeback, resilience. In every winner, possibility. The making of a leader. What makes Eala special is not just her talent, but her timing. She seems to arrive at crucial moments not by accident, but by preparation. Her journey, from junior Grand Slam champion to national standard bearer, has been marked by steady growth rather than sudden leaps. At the PH Women's Open, she didn't just play like the top seed or the crowd favorite. She played like a leader aware that her performance could lift others. And it did. As the final applause echoed and the lights dimmed over the court, one thing was clear. This was not the end of a story, but a chapter that signaled more to come. Eala didn't just win a tournament. She saved a day, inspired a crowd, and once again carried Philippine tennis forward, one composed point at a time.